Hey guys, and welcome to a video on Warframe PvP. In this video I'm playing Zephyr, which is usually a Warframe I don't play in PvP because I favour kind of Najar and the more tanky frames. Zephyr is pretty weak. So why am I playing Zephyr? If you don't know how it works, she has a passive ability where she kind of just floats. She has low gravity where she will be in the air longer and not be as weighty. And this is an interesting topic. It's one I've mentioned in previous Conclave Chronicles PvP series and just general PvP videos for Warframe. It's mobility. Because what you will get in Warframe PvP often, not just in the main game actually, not just in PvP but main game as well, is people moving around very erratically. And I'm not showing this very much now. What I'm doing is fairly controlled movement, which is, well, basic for lack of a better word. What you'll see most people doing is this sort of thing. Well, the spin was very unnecessary, but you'll see people spinning around, rolling, and generally moving very fast, which makes you a hard target to hit, and that is generally why people do it. And the problem with this is not only does it make them hard to hit, but it makes it difficult for them to kill people, and it sets the skill ceiling of Warframe to a very high skill ceiling, because just all you need to be doing is moving, dodging, aiming, and shooting. And most shooters work on this. Why are these guys so oblivious? This is ridiculous. That was really weird, and I'm disappointed that I didn't get any kills. But most shooters will use two frames of movement. It will move, well, forward and to the side. Warframe very much utilizes a third dimension of movement, which is upwards and downwards. And it's very it's very vertically based shooter, and more often than not you need to not just be checking your sides, but you need to be checking the skies, you need to be checking below, you need to be checking vantage points, and a lot of other games try to do this in their map design, not in their movement alone. I know other shooters like Titanfall and Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, I believe, actually did it, those last two titles being Call of Duty ones, but sometimes it's just more of a gimmick, and it is more, I guess it's a better playstyle to stay still and keep shooting from a still perspective, kind of like that guy's doing. But the guy with the Paris is more likely to win that fight because he is the one who is living through it. And it's kind of weird because this game in general, all the enemies I'm up against are actually being very immobile. They're all running across the ground. Not many of them are jumping, and none of them are doing the dodge roll, which is, I guess, in Warframe, before they updated the parkour system, they had a slide maneuver where if you slide and did a melee attack, it would propel you across. And the dodge roll jump has kind of replaced that, in that it's the fastest way to move, and it's, I guess it makes the most of your momentum. I'm out of ammo, so I'm going to need to switch to the static core here, and I'm not very confident with doing that, so I'm going to fall back a bit. And maybe charge a shot and come back around the corner. There is a very nice target. But in fact, I should switch to the Kurnel and try melee here. Sorry, suddenly this turned into a live commentary where I'm actually caring about my score. But the point I'm trying to make, and hopefully people do agree, is that it adds, it makes the focus of Warframe PvP not so much about what guns you use or what Warframes you play or how you use their abilities. It makes it more a challenge of how much you can hit the enemy and how much you can dodge the enemies that are attacking you at the same time. And I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I know it distinguishes Warframe PvP. It makes it very unique and different from other games. That was a terrible tornado. I did actually manage to get a kill there. It makes it very distinct and different from other games. As I mentioned, the other ones, they tried to do it, but not as successfully. And in a way, that's a good thing. It means Warframe, it has something going for it that other games don't. But is it what it should be about? Because it distinguishing itself that way, and it making that the focus of its PvP system, it makes the PvP system about that. Whereas Warframe, I reckon, without all that, it could still stand on its own 2 feet. It would be viable. They had Dark Sector PvP, which was very unbalanced, but it was fun. And I think if they just stuck to doing that, if they stuck to the focus being Warframe's powers, abilities, and all the awesome weapons available, it would still be fun. I love that guy's very humiliating death. Also, thanks man. It's very nice seeing viewers do that. But I think the reason I do want to bring this up is, oh no, it was actually Pun-Chee, who's another one of the Warframe PvP. Well, he's a renowned PvP player. He's very, very good, and I went up against him in a lobby, and we got talking for a bit. And he's very much one of those people who does take advantage of movement, but is very accurate as well, and can hit enemies as well as avoiding enemies. And he suggested I make a video on the movement system and talk about it, and I guess the reason I was very keen on that is I want to see how people feel about it themselves. I want to see if they think it should continue to be the focus and as important as it is, or if people would rather it be reverted back to how it was. I just realised how terribly I typed that, and I kind of want to apologise, but wait until the video's done, otherwise that would be unprofessional of me. Yeah, I think it's cool, and it's good. Like, it's not bad by any means. It doesn't make the game not fun. It just is kind of distracting in a way. It's distracting how, well, for an average player like myself, or a mediocre player, someone who's not too good at games in general, someone who just plays them casually, it means you have to pick one or the other. You have to aim or shoot, which is one of the reasons I'm very bad for aiming down sight, which I shouldn't be doing as much as I do. It's because I would rather aim and hit the enemy. I'd rather get kills than live. This guy is very much doing what you should be doing. He's using a Dragon Nakana, and he's making use of movement, which is making him impossible to kill, whilst also dealing out damage using a weapon that utilises mobility like the Dragon Nakana. And I am probably going to lose this fight, so I'm going to try and outskill him on a level, and there we go. I actually managed to make use of, whatchamacallit, Dive Bomb, or Tail Bomb, or no, it's Tailwind and Dive Bomb, isn't it? So yeah, I think, like, being able to counter movement with abilities is, well, yeah, that's what would make Warframe PvP even better. As opposed to mastering movement, it's choosing when to move, or when to use an ability, or when to use a certain weapon, or when to switch a loadout. I think that tactical layer, whilst it takes away from the skill and makes it more about thinking and counterplays, I think that is what a lot of people would prefer, and a lot of people would find entertainment in that. Kind of like with card games, Hearthstone, or MOBAs like Dota, League of Legends. It's not so much about playing well is very important, but it's about playing smartly, wow, the irony. It's about playing logically and thinking, and playing tactically and strategically, and knowing your enemy, I think, is a good way of putting it, and psyching them out, or working out what they're going to be doing. I think that's where I get my enjoyment from multiplayer games, because I don't think it should be about who can fire the fastest, or do the most damage, or play the best. I think people, because obviously players are of different skill levels, I think people should be able to be good at a game without being good at a game, if that makes sense. Otherwise, there is a defined best person, and if a noob goes up against those people, then they are not going to have a good time, and they're going to lose every time. There's no way they can win, and I don't like that so much, but that's just because I am an average casual player, I guess, is the best way of putting it. I kind of want to use the rest of my energy here, so I'll pop down a... Wow, that was a complete waste of turbulence. It's not even called turbulence, is it? It's called, like, windshield. No, what is it called? Is the augment turbulence? I digress from the point of the video. It's coming to an end here. I think that Dragon Nakana Excalibur dude has overtaken me. Before then, I was doing quite well because of the skill level of these players generally being quite low. In fact, no, these two guys are competing for top spot. But yeah, I would like to hear people's opinions on this topic, and I know it is a hot one in Warframe PvP. In fact, it's probably one of the most debated with recent changes to mobility. And I think I want to see where the community stands. And it'd be nice to get a new, fresh perspective on it from you guys. So be sure to let me know. Leave these comments as though they're predefined. Leave some comments letting me know, and your comments are more important in this video than they usually are, as though they're unimportant. I'm getting distracted again, and I'm offending my audience. Very well played, Casero, and he has a dash in his name, therefore meaning he's an experienced Warframe player. That's basically how it works. And thanks a lot, Seeker, for making an appearance. Until next time, this is me, Evans with Z11. Please rating if you enjoyed the video. If you want more PvP content, be sure to check out Conclave Chronicles, my weekly PvP series, and let me know your thoughts on this topic. This is me, Evans with Z11, and this is me out. Peace.